Oh, shit. Sorry, I didn't see you there. Wow, long time no see. I bet you didn't even recognize me. I am using a new model by my dear friend, Serena. She's a cutie patootie, and if you're not following her, you should absolutely go do so, because you're missing out. Anyways, today we're gonna be playing an indie horror game. Holy shit, it's been so long. Yeah, I haven't played one of these in a while. I apologize. And yeah, it's been a while since I've actually recorded offline to make a YouTube video. So here we are. I spotted this one on Twitter and wanted to give it a shot. The dev kindly gave me a key to play the demo early for you all, so I hope you enjoy. The demo will be released to the public on Monday, June 15th, so if you're interested, please go give it a wish list over on Steam so you can get notified of the release. The link is down in the description below. All right, let's play this. Welcome to Dreadline Express. I actually haven't really gotten the chance to explain what this game is to you guys, so I'm going to take this opportunity to do so now. This is what the Steam page says. Dreadline Express is a first-person psychological horror Metroidbrainia set aboard the last human train. Unravel mysteries of the enigmatic train, face strange passengers, and shape your path using a unique card-based mechanic that gives you full narrative control. This is no longer our world. I'm normally not one for card games, but I really adored the concept, I really adore the art style, and I thought, why not try something new for once? So, here we are. Anyways, let's get into the game. Hey you, you're finally awake. The noise coming from the wall speaker cuts through the layers of my consciousness. It pulls me into reality. The electrical circuit crackles. Silence ensues. A moment later, an unfamiliar, sharply cut voice echoes through the compartment. With immediate effect, free movement on the train is forbidden. We've been spotted again. The lottery is already in progress, and the chosen passengers will be informed of their situation without delay. We expect your full cooperation. All hail the Supreme Engineer. Madness had taken hold of the clock hands. Could this be related to the attack from outside? Could the train itself be reacting to it? Let's look around before we try to open the door. I don't recognize a single one of the items laying around on the makeshift storage area. Do they belong to me? However, there is a piece of paper sticking out of one of the books. I'm drawn to it by an unspoken compulsion. The writing is rough and looks childish. My mom's name was Rose. Dad said she was here with us. He says people forget here. It'll remind me of everything. She was born in 1917, got married at 20, and then she died here. He says I'm not allowed to write anything down, but if I forget again? Her name is Rose. Rose Mather. Rose Mather. Ooh! You've revealed a fragment of your past. Like a broken vase, I glue the pieces of my life together. I had a wife, born in the year of 1917. She seems to have died here on the train. How it happened, I don't know. In spite of my best efforts, I've forgotten that I loved her with all my heart. I failed myself. I failed Teresa. I say I can keep it for later. I really love the art style. It's so creepy. Keep it for later. Okay, let's keep it. Whoa! What the f*** is that? Tiny objects dance to the rhythm of train sleepers across a once elegant piece of furniture. The worn piece of wood is covered with many scratches from countless former passengers. But some of the grooves are fresher and deeper than others at first glance. Remotely, they give the impression of a coherent text. However, it is not possible to read it in the dim light. Yeah, we can't read. Oh, what's this? Hidden from the world is an unknown piece of luggage tucked under the seat. Sturdy leather-covered work case. Wear indicates active use. A numerical row locking mechanism guards the contents inside. Should I know the combination? I wonder what happened to our memory. Do we just have like really bad amnesia? So there's a card there. We're gonna read that in a second. I want to look at the fucking window. Because what? I still have no idea what's going on here. By the way, we just know based on what Steam says. This is so cool. The pitch black darkness shrouding the sky is transforming. It swarms, breathes, and pulsates. An amorphous mass made up of thousands of tentacles. The steam locomotive at the front slows down under the terrible strain. Sticky sprouts are trying to make their way inside. The thin window glass is the last barrier separating me from that monstrosity. The compartment is lit by warm candlelight. In other circumstances, it would seem cozy. I can see the original electric lights on the ceiling, but somebody has put them out of commission. Ooh, new card. We made an observation. Okay, so this game rewards you for looking at things. I like that. I like exploring. I like looking at everything. Light has been our guide since the beginning of time. Within its reach, the unknown becomes tangible. It allows us to discover and learn. Here on board the train, human light is so much more reassuring. An invisible barricade protecting the fragile mind from the incomprehensible outside. The carriages have electric lights, but it's unclear if they work. So I have the option, like the other one, to keep for later or take in hand. This one, I feel like this one might be useful. I mean, I still don't really know how the card mechanic is gonna work. But I think for this one, let's take this in our hand. In my stale pockets full of grease stains, I discover an object. Leather-bound book without a title. Raise your gaze and prepare it for reward. Okay, I love how we were just asking about the card mechanics, so this might tell us a little bit more. Not mere cards. These pages preserve memories and knowledge in a form not subject to external influences. Choose the cards you deem most suitable to achieve your goals and prepare them in your hand. The cards in your palm form your intention, and as such, they are always used together. If the current hand is no good for you, the path of modesty can help you. Narrow down your selection, think broadly, and pay attention to new leads. Hold and press to play your hand on the object in front of you. Oh, that's what it means. Okay, so we said we couldn't read this because of the light, so I guess... Perhaps if I grab the nearest candle, I might be able to read the lines in its flickering light. This is a less confused Hoya who does know how to read properly, telling you that I completely misread and misinterpreted this part. For some reason, I thought it said 8 years ago rather than talking about the age of the passenger when they arrived. I wasn't putting two and two together that my character was carving to the table to talk about my daughter, and thanks to not knowing how to read and also being confused by the note we found earlier about a mother, even though it said wife on the card, I thought I was talking about myself. To be fair, at this point in the game, we still don't really know who we are, but yeah. We pulled the daughter card where we learn a bit more, and you can see that I'm very much attempting to piece things together. Memories betray me. I have a daughter. How could I forget? Or rather, I had a daughter? Okay, give me a second. I'm trying to piece things together. So, it's okay, it's not us. Our memories are a whole bunch of fucked up, so I'm assuming when we said I had a mom, Rose, but the card ended up being wife, so I'm assuming we're the husband, and then this is our daughter that we're talking about, who I guess tied? I'm doing my best to put this together. Maybe, I don't know actually. We'll see. My brain is working overtime right now. The cogs are turning. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. What is this? Folded sheet of paper. It wasn't here before. It's addressed to me. So who am I? Single sheet of paper with an impersonal message. In the lottery, your name was drawn. Thank you for your sacrifice. Wait for the arrival of the conductor and do not leave behind any memorabilia. There is no reason to endanger your loved ones. All hail the Supreme Engineer. Someone's coming for me. Well, shit. I'm trapped in my own compartment. Oh, what do we do? We've already used light, so I'm wondering... There's anything? I feel like we have to know this combination. It must be one of the dates, right? For both of them? How am I supposed to use it, though? I feel like... Oh, that's right. I have to hold. Could the birth years of the daughter and the wife be the solution of this riddle? I did the numbers 1917 and 1938. The lock clicks with satisfaction. Ooh. Musty, leathery smell wafts from inside. The case is about to reveal its secret. Identity documents. Now I know who I am. Okay. Apothecary. That's me. Samuel Mather. My own name is foreign to me, yet it is bound to me like a parasitic larva. My profession. Oh, by profession, I am an apothecary. Expert knowledge of chemical compounds and their effect on living organisms is my strength. I have sworn to use it as a tool of healing, but I can do harm as easily as I can help. Someone's on the other side of the door. I go straight for the handle. Hello. I assume you have already had time to read the letter. Everything is clear to you, I believe. The conductor towers over me. But don't worry, dear Mr. Mather, it will all be over soon, he says, relishing the moment. Before I take you away, is there anything you'd like to say? The conductor looks at me as if I were an animal in a cage. He eagerly watches my reactions and seems to take a certain pleasure in it. Offer my expertise. Dear Samuel, so this is your plan. You want to be useful? But we don't need any help on this board. We have placed ourselves entirely in the hands of our supreme engineer. Don't be worried. He grins. You'll soon get to know him too. Let's get on our way. The conductor reaches out his skinny hand to me. Just before his fingers touch me, the train rumbles. Far in front, the steam locomotive lets out a terrifying roar. The conductor loses his balance as the train suddenly picks up speed. He grabs the doorframe to keep from falling. That hideous mass of tentacles behind the window is breaking apart. As the car breaks free from it, the conductor straightens up. Before he slams the door to my compartment, I catch a look of anger on his face. The sound of his footsteps fades away to the left. The situation is calming down. Oh my god, were they about to sacrifice me to the tentacles? Is that what they do? Once again, a voice echoes through the compartment. The immediate danger has passed. Praise the Supreme Engineer. The previous restrictions remain in effect, but you may leave your seats. Further instructions will be provided. I take this. Can I read this? I had a wife. I had a daughter. I was the father of a family, but I forgot them against my will. The messages remained hidden. Why all the secrecy? Look at my reflection. My face is distorted by dirt and numerous scratches on the glass pane. Despite this, however, I recognize a confused person trying to understand the world around him. The glass is marred by countless scratches, all on the outside. Through the yellowed filth, I watched a sky I don't recognize. An alien sky that chills me to the bone. Brr. Ooh, cool. This is cool. I like this. Every second I spend looking at the alien sky burns me inside. This is not our world anymore. The unnatural hue of the new sun, looking down on the gnawed skeletons of human cities, makes me dizzy. This is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna take it in my hand. Oh, hello there, sir. Everyone's eyes glowing is so weird. A sad man with bloodshot eyes sit at the table. Have a talk. Young sir, the man's gaze is unexpectedly firm. You haven't spoken to me during our entire journey. Now you won't even introduce yourself and demand something from me. You will have to forgive me. But that being said, I refuse to be of any use to you. Okay, so I guess... Let's try this. Okay. Introduce myself. Ahem. The man looks at me sternly again, but eventually his features give way. My pleasure, Samuel. Offering me hand to shake. My name is Garrett Wilcott. The profession of an apothecary is a very noble one, widely respected. I regret that the same cannot be said of my profession. What did you do? I'm a judge. Or at least I used to be, before I got on this train. I feel like that's a pretty good profession. Unless in this world it's, looked down upon. God, the art is just so cool. This is why I was interested in the game in the first place. It was because of the art. I just really, really liked it. Something about it gives me a little bit of Lovecraft in a way. Like it invokes that same kind of feeling.
It's a slow-burning drama set in the universe of H.P. Lovecraft.
Crime and punishment wage an eternal battle against each other. Those who commit evil stand against those who punish evil. And how else to punish then with evil itself? So let's ask him, why is it not deemed as like a good thing? In my profession, more than anywhere else it applies that what is good for one can be evil for another. But I'm still only human. It's impossible for me to make universal correct decisions. If it still mattered in any way, I'd like the sum of my decisions to have a positive effect. All right, Garrett. It's lovely to meet you. A few blankets hung on a wire form an improvised wall. It's a sort of shelter providing the passenger on the other side with an apparent sense of privacy. Do we want to introduce ourselves, maybe? Leave me alone. The man on the other end snaps at me. Voluntary isolation. How did you get this card of me? Like I said this in the beginning. I'm not a huge card playing person, but I like the way that this is utilizing cards. So I'm curious. Ask about the world outside. You know, Samuel, I still sometimes hope to wake up from this nightmare. And I'll look out at the sky. Garrett turns his head to the window. And I realize it's not a dream. It's really happening. There's nothing waiting for us. There's no one else left. Only us, the crew of the last human train. You've learned something. Yeah, I like learning. This person is in considerable discomfort. Head and hands and tremors are obvious evidence of such. His clothes are soaked with sweat. The acrid smell is almost unbearable. The young man only acknowledges me after several attempts. Mr. Samuel, he keeps shaking. We've already had the honor. Euler, sir. My name is Euler. Please. He trembles. A man of your profession, help me. The noise here is unbearable. This infernal machine will not let me rest. His eyes glisten. Unbearable noise. The noise never stops. It's part of all of us. The hum of the steam engine, the clank of the sleepers will be with us for the rest of our lives. The human mind is unusually adaptable, so most passengers have long since become accustomed to the constant roar of the machine. If we didn't, we would end up like that withered young man suffering from tremors in the corner of the carriage. Well, I'm an apothecary, ain't I? Okay, let's do something. So it I can't speak. It looks like we can actually, whoa, this is sick. It looks like we can actually create medication of sorts. What if I take this card? Yeah, search for a calming substance. In addition to the recorded knowledge needed to produce various medicines, the case also contains several potent substances. Amongst the powdered ingredients and dried herbs lies a lone vial of brown liquid. Last remaining dose of laudanum. I should use it wisely. There must be more than one use for it. Tinctures of opium, used to cure many ailments. That is, until they were banned in the early 20th century. And yet one innocent-looking bottle is found in amongst my inventory. Consumption of the substance causes a shift in consciousness, feelings of euphoria and peace. It relieves both physical and mental pain. Do we want to give this to him? I mean, yeah, okay, whatever. Uh-oh. Do we ignore that, or do we listen to it? Guess we'll listen. The unpleasant noise is interrupted by a firm and measured voice. Announcement to the passengers. Speaks the conductor. Our providers in the dining car have just finished preparing today's rations. Food will be distributed at the conductor's office service window. Begin approaching it one by one. Respect the order determined by your place in the car. Mr. Mather will approach first. The Supreme Engineer, our gratitude, mentioned Laudanum. The young man licks his lips greedily and seems lost in thought. He's clearly hungry, but eventually he notices me and reacts. Laudanum. The young man's eyes dart around as he begins to recite mechanically. An opium tincture, a narcotic for sedating the body, relieving pain and inducing a feeling of bliss. Why are you mentioning it, though? Do you have any? Please, my head isn't working properly in all this noise. You need to be more specific. All right, well, let's go get our fucking food, I guess. Ah, Mr. Mather. It's good to see you again. As a form of apology for a recent misunderstanding, I have taken the liberty of personally delivering your rations to your compartment. You will find your plate hidden under one of the seats. I'm sure you understand that I would hate for a passerby to get a hold of it. Bon appetit.
Hello, motherfucker.
That scared the shit out of me. Hungry eyes bore into my face. They're full of primitive urge. Time to look for our food. At the very back, in the layers of dust and cobwebs, lies a silver object. A tray with food, as the conductor said. This looks so appetizing. Next to the plate of disgusting mush lies a piece of paper, a letter. It's from Supreme Engineer. The letter begins, Dear Mr. Mather, recent events in which you have been involved have caught my personal attention. Please accept the attached insignia as a symbol of my direct oversight of you from this moment onwards. Now eat in peace, and as early as possible, visit your conductor. He's already been instructed and will explain everything to you. Until then, do not speak to anyone. Do not put this matter on hold. Wait, I'm not allowed to speak to anyone? Aww. Symbol of the totalitarian regime that rules the train. It is a badge that the crew proudly wears on their chests, signifying their superiority over other passengers. It was given an insignia by the Supreme Engineer. You should think very carefully before telling anyone about it. Oh, someone is blocking the door from the other side. I'm afraid I'll have no choice but to eat that thing on the table. All right, I guess I fucking will. Yum, yum, yum. That thing on the plate isn't food. The sight of that burbling abomination causes me physical distress, and the pungent smell makes my head spin. However, it is only now that I realize how hungry I really am. My stomach is nodding up. I'm actually considering trying it. I like how there's like a bone sticking up, maybe like some weird stale piece of bread with just mush and what looks to be possibly, hopefully, tea. Okay, how do I eat it? Because I have to pick a card to interact with it. Do I pick myself? Mayhaps? Mayhaps? Yeah. Perhaps I'll try to eat at least some dry bread. What have I done? I can't believe I ate that atrocity. What primal urge must have taken hold of me? My man, you were starving. That's just how it is. You know what I mean? Inside, someone is singing in a soft voice. The words cannot be understood. Could I introduce myself? Try to overcome. I don't want to overcome the door. That's so mean. Say the password, commands a cheerful voice from the other side of the door. Password. Ooh, we've learned something. I like this card. This one's really cool looking. The softly spoken, say the password, brings an almost childlike innocence to these gloomy spaces. A single sentence conveys complete sincerity with no hint of malice or dislike. It is a fragment of a lost world hidden away behind closed doors. Say the password. But is there any point in trying to solve this riddle? Collision with the reality around us can easily destroy all the magic. Ask for the password. We could just ask. Wait, actually, let's... There's a young girl living in the compartment next to you. Perhaps more of a child. If she's asking you for the password, how childish. He smiles. Sometimes I catch her peeking through the half-open door at the bottles on my desk. Strange, isn't it? She must be shy. I can't help you with the password, though, as I haven't spoken to her yet. But I think the older woman at the back of the train knows her. Let's put this in our hand. Ask about the regime. I understand what you're asking, Samuel. He ponders. You know, people need order, rules, and laws so they don't stray. Restrictions and punishments are certainly unpopular, yet necessary. If you're intelligent, you'll comply, hand over control, and spend the rest of your life in calm. As far as I'm concerned, I'm extremely glad that I no longer have to bear the burden of choice. I have no ambition to disrupt the order here. Initiate conversation. All right. Leave me alone. The man on the other end snaps at me. Okay. Wait, what if I... Okay, leave me alone. Got it. Is there any way I can... Okay, what if I do this? Leave me alone. Further focus my attention elsewhere. Okay, fine. I like how it gives me a little something to tell me, like, all right, stop your shenanigans. The ornamental decoration made of cut glass depicts an unusual scene. Despite the pastel colors, the mere sight of it unsettles me. What could it be its meaning? It looks like eyeballs. Focus on the light. The light from the other side passes through the glass and draws color patterns on the surrounding environment. The disturbing scene takes on a third dimension. Ask about Garrett. At first, he looks confused, then he remembers. The man on the other side. Yes, I don't know much about him, except perhaps he searches his memory. That he's very proud of his bottles. Oh, he's a fucking alcoholic. Mute figures made of glass, empty and without purpose. Yet here they are, displayed in front of one of the passengers. Is this a sentiment? A string pulling the mind back to times long gone. A materialized remembrance can take many forms. I mean, was an alcoholic? Mayhaps. Let's ask about this. The man behind the blanket. I've seen him a few times, maybe. I can't concentrate. Hopefully his shelter provides him with the peace of mind that I miss so much. Help me from this noise, please. How do I help you? Let's ask him about his bottles. Countless bottles of various spirits cover the tabletop. Some of the labels are familiar to me, others I'm seeing for the first time. While the bottles have one thing in common, they are completely empty. There is not even the faintest hint of the bitter alcohol scent one might expect. Why their owner put them on display here is a mystery to me. Probably just reminiscing. Garrett raises his eyebrows. I'm not surprised by your question, Samuel. For the first few weeks, maybe months of our journey, the alcohol in those bottles provided me with comfort, a connection to my lost life. But it's been a long time since the last drop dried up. There will never be another one like this, or any other, he says gloomily. Sometimes, however, I can still sense that sweet hint of alcohol, fleeting and elusive. That's why I keep them here. In our situation, there is no longer any reason to keep our petty secrets. I would give anything for the chance to feel that beautiful alcoholic intoxication one last time. And then let's ask him about Mr. Isolation Man. Garrett glances at the ragged wall behind my back. I know very little about the man out there hiding from the world, but one thing is clear to me. He's weak. A weakling and a coward. Some people are born this way. For others, it's the result of an overprotective mother. Of course, every one of us aboard the train has plenty of reasons to be sad. However, he glares at me. None of us fall into such strong melancholy, do we? Several papers are pinned to the wallpaper and wall lining. As far as I can tell, it's some kind of mathematical calculations and equations, but it's not within my ability to understand them. Every single paper is signed with the name Euler P. Meadow. Combinaturalist? Combinatorialist. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Okay, I need to know how to pronounce this. Give me a second.
A few moments later.
Combinatorics. That sounds wrong still. This sounds wrong still. Combinatorics. Euler P. Meadow, a name belonging to an obviously brilliant mind, a consciousness capable of peering behind the curtain of the universe and seeing the grand order in chaos. Combinatorics is the science of ordering, selecting, and enumerating possibilities. It reveals the true magnitude of the potential of an individual and quantifies our destiny. I keep forgetting combinations is like a thing. Please ignore me. What a kind offer, really. I appreciate it immensely, especially coming from you. However, I don't use addictive substances. The young man suddenly grits his teeth as a new wave of pain overwhelms him. No, you're right. I'm willing to try anything. This is no longer endurable. With those words, he swallows his contents of the offered bottle.
Object to the test!
Good.
The young man's troubled features finally relax. Well, now I want to ask him a bit about his math. Yes, he recalls. Before the train, I worked at the university, studying probability, quantifying possibilities. I also enjoyed ciphers and cracking passwords. I'm curious what effect your laudanum will have on my reasoning. An interesting experiment, he grins. However, if you're interested in something specific, Mr. Samuel, I may be able to understand my old notes and find what you seek in them. How cool. You know, I'm very perceptive. And amid all the noise the train makes, I heard some sound coming from under that blanket. That person is miserable. He might be grieving the loss of a loved one, Mr. Samuel. That's what the elderly lady back here on deck was saying. A loss so tragic that it causes one to shut out the world. The loss of a loved one is like molten iron on the skin. It cools slowly, but we can never truly tear it off. The loss scars us for life and forever changes the course of our lives. It is often in the darkest moments that we can find a kindred spirit, someone with the same scars on their skin, who can offer understanding and help us find our way back. Well, I guess we can go and ask. What the hell do you know about loss? The person on the other end snaps at me. Leave me alone, please. We have nothing in common. All right, well, I'll have you know. No response. Silence fills the space between me and the person on the other side. Then I hear a rustling sound. Ah, damn. Not available? What a fucking crazy room. The music changed. I like that. The conductor notices me looking at him. Mr. Mather, of course. He mutters through clenched teeth. I have something to tell you. The Supreme Engineer has entrusted you with a task. Sacrifice of passengers, which until now was determined by lot, will now be determined by you. Yes, you, Mr. Mather, will choose the next victim. utters these words with grave solemnity. Solemnity. English. Solemnity? Solemnity. The offering must come from this car. Don't think I'll let you go any further into the train. Think it over and come back with the name of one passenger. The conductor doesn't seem too pleased with the whole situation. Any questions? I don't want to execute somebody. The train demands sacrifices. Until now, the victims have been chosen at random, but that is changing. I'll decide who goes next. This gives me the power to influence more than one fate. To help me fulfill this task to the best of my ability, the conductor must be at my disposal and comply with all my requests, much to his displeasure. These are the orders of the Supreme Engineer. I'm truly above the other passengers. I hold the power of life and death. Wait, that's f***ed up. That's kind of f***ed up. Let's ask about the symbol. The symbol of crew, which the chief engineer gave to you, much to my displeasure, is not merely an object. Not only do other passengers respect it, but even the train responds to it. The vehicle listens to its vibrations and, to a certain extent, obeys them. Many paths are now opening up for you through the insignia. Hey again. Version of the demo I'm playing gives me access to this fancy little board right here, which provides more information about the passengers, some more lore, and my purpose here. I don't believe this is in the demo you will be playing, so just a heads up. What's the password? It's strange, but there's almost no information here about any passengers in the compartment next to mine. Certainly nothing that would help me figure out the password. Maybe I'll be able to piece some of the connections together once I know what I'm looking for. Schematic diagram of the car and associated information indicate only one thing. The man behind the sheet is named Jacob Graham. He is a young savant. Jacob Graham, a university scholar from a wealthy family. Thanks to his connections, he was granted the greatest gift of all, education. You hear that, kids? Education's important. Knowledge gives one the power to shape the world. Jacob enjoyed access to the world's greatest libraries and studied at the most prestigious universities. From the buffet of knowledge, he picked the juiciest fruits. It would be an infinite tragedy if this knowledge were now to perish along with him. Oh. I do miss school. I was having this conversation the other day. I miss learning things. It's really hard to, now that I'm not in school, it's really, really hard to actually get myself to learn things every day, like I did when I was in university. Let's see. The notes indicate that I boarded the train with my wife and daughter. Both were sacrificed. However, all other information about them has been blacked out. Not even their names can be read. Their records were wiped out when they died. That's f***ed up. Hey, what the hell? What about myself? Samuel Mather, operator of a secluded apothecary on the outskirts of the city center, frequented by a small number of regular customers. There's a lot of other information. Okay. Wait, can I try to open the door with the seal? Stupid, right? I tried pressing the insignia against the door mechanism. Mr. Mather, could you please explain what you're trying to achieve here? You may have an insignia that can open many doors, but this gate and the inner parts of the train remain beyond your reach. Wakarimashita. If you haven't figured it out already, I'm not the best with puzzles. I tend to take much longer to solve things as I grasp the concepts of the games that I play, but I still enjoy playing them anyways. For the demo, there are 20 cards total. I found 18 on my own, which I'm very proud of, but I was struggling to figure out how to get the final 2. Dev was nice enough to give me a walkthrough on how to get each card, so I succumbed to my own curiosity because I really wanted to know what cards I was missing. The first one we found, we used my favorite card that I am incapable of saying correctly, Combinatorist. I use it to interact with the research papers on the wall behind our dear friend Euler. Now, this will only work if Euler is not deep in anxiety hell, so keep that in mind. We ended up getting a card called Dwindling Time, probably among my favorite looking cards in the game right after Password. The card gives us some more information about the man-eating train that we are on and how unsustainable it is to keep feeding it the few people we have left. The next card we search for is called Sins. After calming Euler down, showing him the judge card we got from Garrett earlier allows us to retrieve it and learn a small bit about Garrett's guilt. We still don't know what he did, but we learn a bit more about why he talks down about his past occupation as a judge. It also hints at others on board being sinners too, which ties us back into the mechanics of us having the wonderful job of sacrificing people. I was not sure how to end this video, so I'm gonna yap your ear off for a second. This game's focus is on its card mechanics, lore, world building, and of course, the art. The use of cards as a means to discover new things and build your deck is really fascinating to me, and not something I've seen before. Though not shown in this video, I did learn that you can have up to 3 cards in your hand at a time, which begs the question of what kind of combinations can be created to find out which specific things. I also learned that there are usually multiple ways to get the same information or cards, so you aren't completely locked in having to follow one straight path. This is a good thing because it can be very frustrating when you have so many options and combinations to choose from. Without even watching the trailer or knowing much about the game except for what we read together on Steam, I immediately felt the game was inspired by Lovecraft. Now, after seeing the trailer, I realized that is what they are going for. But I think that says a lot about the aesthetic they achieved. This is not my usual game I would play, but I'm all for creepy cozy aesthetics and really did come to like the game mechanics. I'm excited to see how much more I can explore on the train, the different passengers we'll meet, and how sacrificing is going to work out for us. I'm also really excited to see all of the art for the remaining cards, which has by far been my favorite part about Dreadline Express. Thank you again, David, for allowing me to play this demo early. I really enjoyed what I've seen so far. I also hope you all enjoyed this cozier video, and if you like this kind of game and want to play Dreadline Express on release, you can wishlist it by clicking the link down in the description below. If you want to see me play some other stuff live, I also stream on Twitch Mondays and Fridays at 6 p.m. EST. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.